spirit. This February, we're curating amazing conversations celebrating the heroes, the pioneers, and the everyday people who made history. Black History Month on KBLA Talk 1580. Together, we carry the torch forward.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
If you really put it with all your energy, strength and vitality, and especially the passion to comprehend something which mankind has lived with fear for millennia upon millennia, then you are giving that passionate, flaming attention to the cause. When you give such burning attention, the cause is burnt away.
Man, Krishnamurti, man. I know, maybe you guys are not as into the brother as I am, but I love him to death. Andy be laughing every time he hears his voice. It's a little slurry. He was old when some of these videos were recorded. But he speaks very powerfully about the human condition, relationships, and what we call psychological bondage. Now, tonight's topic is, the final one in this series that we did this week. Yes, it was a series. And it fits right into what Murti is speaking. Well, they call him K, right? That's his followers refer to him as K. This topic is dealing with a lot of folks, right? Is saving face really just the mask that we wear in spiritual ICU, intensive care unit? What do we mean by that? Is saving face, in essence, merely the mask we wear in the spiritual intensive care unit? There's such a thing as narcissistic collapse. When that mask gets tugged on, when that mask gets revealed, right? What tends to happen is there's a collapse because first and foremost, many people that have heavy narcissistic tendencies are unaware, unconscious of them, right? They're unaware that that's how they are. They think the way they are is normal and everybody else is crazy, right? So not only when the mask gets tugged and pulled at and exposed, it's exposed to them. There's a deep shame wound that is triggered. And again, oh my God, they have to retreat in some way. And maybe even just for a moment, because not only are you aware of their mask, but they become aware of their mask. Is saving face, having to save face, using it as a defense mechanism. Let me just pull back for a second. Is saving face in essence merely the mask we wear in the spiritual intensive care unit? Lord have mercy. Woo! Is saving face a lifeline or a trap for the narcissistically vulnerable? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Research in narcissistic personality dynamics indicates that the maintenance of a false self may temporarily shield us from criticism, yet it predisposes us to catastrophic identity collapse when external pressures unmask our vulnerabilities. Can anybody say Drake? Say Drake. I'm sorry. Right? Or anybody else who thinks what they've accumulated is the sum total of who they are. See, again, when you're internally broken, your external world matters more than anything else. What you have, how you look, the way you present to others, how you leverage what you have to control others. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you see? So sometimes it's very difficult for people to step into this fallback mode, which is saving face. Now, we all know the definition of what it means to save face. It's kind of in that moment to capitulate, reminiscent of the art of war. Sometimes retreat, right, saves your soldiers. Sometimes it saves you can retreat in a small battle and then come back for a larger one, right? Sometimes retreating is good. But saving face, many people do it as a defense mechanism for being exposed. Have you seen it in intimate relationships? Have you seen it? According to Merriam-Webster's unabridged English dictionary, the idiom save face is a phrasal verb that means to preserve one's reputation or to avoid having others lose respect. I got to save face. This happens in intimate relationships often, many times, right? See, let me tell you something. Many people got relationships inverted. What do you mean, Zoe? You get into a relationship for relationship benefits. Let's just keep it a buck. You want benefits from a person, whether it's sexual, whether it's companionate. You want benefits. Whether it's financial, you want benefits. Whether it's psychological, your wounds want some type of supply. You're in it for benefits, right? But let me explain something to you. This is why I say relationships are inverted. You don't get the benefits you desire until you become the desire. Until you become what you want. Until you conquer the self. Until you deal with the ego. Until you deal with the wounds, you don't get the benefits. You may get superficial benefits. Oh, we went to a nice restaurant. They had gumbo that was reminiscent of our time down in the French Quarter. It was amazing. Superficial benefits. But over time, the you that has been hiding behind the persona will leak out and be exposed, and it will cause you and your partner to have some consternation. And that's going to tell you the quality of the relationship, how you deal with it, right? Does the mask we wear secure our social identity or ensure our ultimate anonymity in authenticity? Ooh, I know y'all not ready for that. Neuroscientific studies reveal that habitual facade maintenance activates neural pathways that inhibit genuine self-awareness, leaving us emotionally isolated despite apparent social connectivity. I'm telling you, I see living mannequins walking around. They're living their best life on IG. I'm looking at living mannequins. Because if you're not doing Krishnamurti said it yourself. He said it himself. If you don't heal what's within you, what happened in the past, who told you that you weren't enough, if you don't heal all of that, he said you're an adult second-hand person. You're an adult second-hand person. Because the narrative that molded you is your primary directive internally. Eesh. Can the act of saving face be a form of spiritual sabotage? Let me retreat before I ruin this relationship and ruin my supply source. 1-800-920-1580. Clinical observations and trauma bonding research suggests that clinging to a constructed identity prevents deep inner work, perpetuating a cycle of self-betrayal and hindering authentic spiritual growth. 1-800-920-1580. Is the illusion of saving face a catalyst for interpersonal disintegration and narcissistic collapse? No. Let me boomerang it. Let me boomerang that one more time. Is the illusion of saving face a catalyst for interpersonal disintegration and narcissistic collapse? Here's the empirical insight on that. Attachment theory and self-psychology research illustrate that preserving an inauthentic self creates relational instability, setting the stage for a dramatic breakdown when the facade inevitably fractures. When does the need to save face become a roadblock to true self-integration? Most of us are only saving face because we're trying to save a source. It's trying to save a source, trying to save a resource. Let me save face so I don't lose the source of my supply or the resources. I don't know if you're ready for tonight's topic. Huh? When does the need to save face become a roadblock to true self-integration, self-congruence? If you are not on the path of self-integration, you're a damn liar in your relationships. Your mask is your truth, but your mask is rooted in the Sanskrit term maya, an illusion, an ideal, a concept, an image. You're a damn liar. And guess what? You can spend 5-10 years lying to yourself. Lying to your partner, and it could be relatively benign and a good relationship. But the moment the fracture happens, destroy the image, you destroy the man. or woman for that matter. 1-800-920-1580. Somebody get to your phone lines. I know you've experienced it before. Studies in self-actualization and humanistic psychology consistently show that chronic inauthenticity disrupts emotional integration, fostering long-term psychological distress and internal fragmentation. Boy, when the outside is more put together than the inside, it ain't gonna take long for you to recognize the fissures that are in the soul. 1-800-920-1580. I'm so damn tired of everybody else being the problem and your answer. Listen. I need you to hear. They're your problem and they're your answer. If you would just act right, if you would just show up right, if you would just shift to the left a little bit, because my wounds, they exist on the left side of my spirit. If you could just listen, I'm not here to heal you. That's a DIY job. Do it yourself, right? When you heal and I'm healing at the same time, and we're working on ourselves as vigorously or even more so vigorously than we're trying to work on the relationship might survive. It is the lack of self-work that disintegrates the relationship. Does the mask of saving face create a false sense of security that conceals deeper insecurities? Social learning theory and empirical evidence on defense mechanisms indicate that repetitive face-saving behaviors reinforce maladaptive neural circuits, deepening underlying fears and insecurities. Listen, the voice of reason is not playing with you tonight. When I come forward, the voice of reason invites you to speak with me, to join this mutual discussion, this dialogue. We must have it when I come forward. We got a lot to talk about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, now I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services resources for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Shame, chronic shame, is one of the most complex, corrosive, and immobilizing emotions. It often underlies pain, anxiety, and depression. Shame is like a cancer, like a tumor that grows from the injury of trauma and the wound of betrayal. This interpersonal trauma becomes deeply lodged in the body-mind and then metastasizes, infecting all aspects of a person's life. They include a loss of connection with our authentic, spontaneous self, as well as with our basic sense of goodness, rightness, and belonging in the world. I believe that there are two main sources of toxic shame. The first is when we're traumatized, abused, and humiliated as young children. We experience this as an overall sense of badness that something is fundamentally wrong with us. The second is the fear that comes from being ostracized from a group, and this can happen at different ages. For a young child, it's as though the only way we can make sense of how poorly we've been treated, how we've been mistreated, especially by those who are supposed to take care, cherish, and love us, is to lay the blame on our own badness. In other words, the way that we try to make sense of this is to somehow assume that we were the cause of that abuse and that shaming and that humiliation. And this allows the child to imagine that they have some small modicum of control in an otherwise incontrollable situation.
Hey, listen, the man is cooking with the rarest truffle oils, okay? There's garlic, there's chives. The man's ingredients are top shelf in what he's saying. He's cooking, okay? Clarified, salted butter, it's all there. He's cooking, okay? But I want you to understand something. Relationships can only be one of two things in terms of the manifestation of it for you. It could either be a hellish university, right, that is rife with conflicts emphasis on you, university, the university of you, where it is difficult and hard, right? Or it can be a heaven where it can cultivate unconditional love. Now, in both situations, whatever you're experiencing is being mirrored. The person you call in mirrors what you've earned, right? What you've learned about yourself, what you've learned and earned, what you've cultivated, right? They represent your current level of development. Now, you can start this self journey where you're beginning the healing process. That's beautiful. You're going to rise in vibrational frequency, and you're going to call in, someone that matches that. Two aspects or two manifestations of the same mirroring aspect. The more you heal yourself, the better your relationship becomes. Remember, your external relationship is the effect of the cause that lives within your internal relationship, intrapersonal relationship versus interpersonal. So, again, the quality of your relationship with self determines the quality of your relationship with others, right? Somebody just said it right here. They said, saving face isn't the same thing as taking accountability. I just saw somebody in the chat who said that. Taking accountability is not trying to save something. Like, let me save my respect, or let me save myself from embarrassment. Let me save this. Let me save. Do you see? Could the ritual of saving face be the hidden engine behind societal conformity and emotional alienation? All you got to do is listen to Drake's new album. He's saving face the whole album. Talking about he's still relevant. Listen, if you're in a battle with Kendrick, what you need to do, you lose. Okay, you lost. Kendrick destroyed you. This is what you need to do. I'm saying this as a former A&R, right? For Madonna, for Steve Rifkin, Loud Records, Madonna's label, Maverick Records. This is what you do. You lost. So number one, you got to go back to making great records. Just great music. Not cliche music, not KISS, keep it simple, stupid music, not pandering music, because Kendrick already covered it when he says, I make music that electrifies him. You make music that pacifies. So don't do that. Don't go to, what you should do is go the self-reflective route, the self-redemption route. Right? Because he went back to a formula that he tries to use, right? Which is the girls and the party and boy, redemption. I lost. I didn't think I was going to lose. You know why? Because I underestimated this man. He's better than I thought he was. Do you see? That's taking accountability. Saving face is what he did. What are you going to do? Have him in the club twerking while reading the dictionary? That's what the man said. Now you're attacking intellect? When we come forward, the voice of reason going to keep cooking.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. New York Governor Kathy Hochul may impose restrictions on Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams, but will not remove him. Reports say she plans oversight measures and legal funding against the federal government if Adams doesn't act. Nearly 95 million people are facing cold weather alerts from the plains to the southeast. Virginia and North Carolina saw over a foot of snow, while Texas deals with unusual cold. The Los Angeles Fire Department is disputing Black Mayor Karen Bassett's claim that Fire Chief Kristen Crowley did not warn her about high winds before the January 7th fires. LAFD says it followed standard procedures, issued advisories, and warned officials. And Black Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown is joining a 37-state coalition urging the FDA to crack down on counterfeit weight loss and diabetes drugs. They warn unregulated meds endanger lives and call for stricter enforcement against illegal compounding pharmacies. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you.
I have a dream today.
The road to freedom wasn't paved with just big moments. It was built day to day, step by step, voice by voice. This February, experience Black History Month through the stories that shape Los Angeles and beyond. KBLA Talk 1580, where Black history lives.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LAC-JCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
A major obstacle to self-knowledge, and in turn to a flourishing life, is the tendency of one part of our minds to lie to the other. We lie for what might initially seem like a very understandable reason, because we want to avoid pain. But in so doing, we hugely damage our chances of happiness. There are 4 things we particularly like to lie to ourselves about. We lie about all the problematic aspects it would take so much effort to alter: our jobs, our relationships, our friendships, our health, our habits and ideas. We lie because we need to think well of ourselves and are devoted to imagining that we are essentially normal, without peculiar loves, hates and deviant thoughts. We lie because we don't want to feel so inadequate, and yet because we lack so many good things. We lie because we're furious with certain people we're supposed to love, and we lie because what we're furious about feels so minor and pathetically petty for a grown-up to care about. Given how risky the truth about us can feel, we've had to learn to be masters of deception. Our techniques are wide-ranging, devilish, and often hugely imaginative. Here are some of the leading maneuvers we employ to pull the wool over our own eyes. We identify something that can powerfully keep our thoughts away from troubling inner confrontations. Online pornography is a favourite, the news another, alcohol a third, work a fourth. We don't so much like these elements in and of themselves. We like them for their ability to keep us away from what we fear. A sadness we haven't been able...
Okay, I don't know what the tech is, but it's fine. They drop in science, though. Everything he's describing about how we lie to ourselves, this is what makes interpersonal relationships go down the pathway to hell. See, hell is characterized, before Dante's Inferno's breakdown and definition of hell, right? There was no fiery pit, right? It was Dante's Inferno that actually described hell, right? Limbo and the 7 levels of hell and all of this and that or whatever. That was Dante's Inferno, right? And it's interesting that later on the Catholic Church integrated Dante's Inferno, or Dante's description of hell, right, into the Bible. So what's very interesting is they used fire. Now, fire represents something very powerful, right? Represents something very powerful. Fire always represents spirit. Water represents emotion and unconscious. When the world was destroyed the first time in the Bible, it was destroyed first by water, emotion and unconscious. The water always represents the subconscious. So when you see Jung's work and he talks about the tip of the pyramid and then what's beneath, not the pyramid, but the iceberg, tip of the iceberg, and then what's beneath the iceberg is way more massive. So water represents the unconscious. The children of Israel were unconscious. They lost consciousness of who the true God was because they were in distress, right? They thought Moses got them out of Egypt, but it wasn't enough. They were supposed to go to the promised land. They were in distress. So they lost consciousness and then reverted back to their old ways. God had to destroy it by water. Destroyed the world by water. Interesting, right? Well, when the world gets destroyed again, wait, I mixed 2 stories. Wait, coming out of Egypt is one story. Being destroyed by water is the other story. There I am. Sorry. When the world is destroyed again, it'll be destroyed by fire. Why fire? Because fire represents spirituality. When fire hits something, it destroys everything. It breaks it down to its fundamental element, to its foundational element. It actually physically changes it forever, right? So when we talk about a restart, a reset, usually fire is in play, right? Does that make sense? Okay, good. So could the ritual of saving face be the hidden engine behind societal conformity and emotional alienation, empirical insight, cross cultural research in social psychology demonstrates that face-saving practices, though evolutionary adaptive, often suppress individuality and impede authentic emotional expression. So what's happening is when people get into these relationships, they have presented the tip of their iceberg, not the truth of who they are. The mask is the tip of the iceberg. They keep what is subconscious hidden, right? They perform, they listen, they mimic, is performative empathy, performative concern, care, all of that, and because they ultimately want something, right? But in order to get to a higher state of consciousness, the fire of the soul must consume the wounds that were created in early childhood. Are you following? Whatever wounds that were created in early childhood must be consumed by the fire of self-awareness. Self-awareness is very difficult to achieve. Why? Because it hurts to look back at the first hurts that made you who you are. It hurts to look back at the first hurts that made you who you are. Do you understand? Is the price of saving face the gradual erosion of our capacity for empathy and deep connection? 1-800-920-1580, get to your phone lines. Empirical insight. Interpersonal neurobiology studies reveal that inauthentic self-presentation not only dampens empathetic responses, but also undermines the formation of profound, meaningful relationships. Right? What happens when the mask of saving face finally crumbles? Can vulnerability spark redemption? That's what I spoke of earlier before we came forward. Drake rap about redemption. Rap about humility. It shows growth. That's one of the biggest critiques against the young man. He's been the same artist for the last 15 years. He hasn't grown. You can't still be at the club at 38. But he says it and he doubles and triples and quadruples down on all of the things. Now, Kendrick is trending, or his Euphoria record is trending as prophetic. Do you see? Saving face is about protecting the ego, the image, right? Many of us would rather our partner date, love, and marry that image, because the pain of them dating the real flawed you comes with triggering the shame wound. Many people don't want to be triggered in that way. Does the pursuit of saving face deny us the opportunity for radical, unapologetic self-expression? Saving face is not the same as taking accountability, right? Evidence from humanistic and existential psychology underscores that relinquishing the facade is essential for cultivating true self-expression, which in turn fosters long-term psychological resilience. Listen, this society lacks resilience. It gets hard, we leave. We get triggered, we bounce. Does that make sense? Saving face is not merely a social convention, but a high-stakes performance, a mask concealing our inner vulnerabilities in the spiritual ICU of our being. Drawing on Carl Jung's mask theory and contemporary insights into narcissism, this tonight's exploration challenges the facade that protects our ego while imprisoning our authentic selves. It questions whether our curated identities, built through social conditioning and fear of rejection, serve as a lifeline against narcissistic collapse, or as a profound betrayal of our true nature. Through incisive inquiry, tonight's topic, we will try to dissect how inauthenticity and trauma bonding feed into a cycle where the relentless need to persevere to preserve our image transforms into a debilitating crisis where the mask inevitably cracks, blending empirical evidence, clinical insights, and metaphysical perspectives. We're going to keep cooking y'all up tonight. You got a curated identity, you trying to save face, and you want to be in a relationship. When we come forward, we're going to explore even further.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just like that.
When I'm with you, I hear a song that makes me laugh and smile and sing to you. When I'm with you, I feel so free. I feel that love is going to take control of I wonder why people do stop and stare and smile at us when I'm with you.
I noticed with my patients, particularly with people that are in public life, that they have a certain way of presenting themselves. For instance, take the doctor. He has a certain way. For instance, he has good bedside manners, and he behaves as one expects a doctor behaves. He may even identify himself with it and believe that he is what he appears to be. And so when he is a professor, he's also supposed to behave in a certain way so that it is plausible that he is a professor. So the persona is a certain complicated system of behavior, which is partially dictated by society and partially dictated by the expectations or the wishes one nurtures oneself. Now, this is not the real personality, in spite of the fact that people will assure that is all quite real and quite honest, yet it is not.
That was Carl Jung himself, if I'm not mistaken. That was the Carl Jung speaking. I'm tired. I'm an INFJ. Okay? I think that's what I am. INFJ. That's me. Listen, I'm caught in the movie. You guys remember the movie They Live? God gave me these eyes, and I like those special glasses that people put on in that movie to reveal the aliens. That's how I see. People are walking around like living mannequins. And I know it's a difficult thing. Listen, it's difficult for you to be who you are. Carl Jung just explained it. It's difficult for you to be you, right? I get it. But you must overcome whatever fear of rejection. It's difficult, but you must overcome. You must become you. Self-realization is part of self-actualization, right? It's part of transcending the self altogether. You can't transcend the self until you've accepted the self. And just to go back really quickly, I had brain flatulence. I was telling two stories. I was telling one story, the Exodus out of Egypt from the Bible, and then the other story was Noah, the flood, right? But the metaphor was clear. The metaphor was simple. You know, unconsciousness, water. That's what water represented. I was talking about the elements as they manifested in the Bible. Water destroyed the planet. That was unconsciousness in the beginning. Everything had to be wiped away, right? The people were crazy. The people were wild. Everything had to be wiped away by water. Wickedness, right? Water did that. When it happens again, it's going to be done by fire, which deals with transformation. But to go back to my point that Carl was making, what do I do now that I have identified the mask I wear? Line it up with what Carl Jung was saying. If our identity is constructed largely through social interaction, how much of saving face is preserving the self versus maintaining a collective illusion? Have you ever been in a real argument with your woman or with your husband, with your wife, with your woman, whatever, husband, wife, and you get to a point of anger that they've never seen before, and then they tell you, I don't even know you anymore? Who are you? See, we don't live in real relationships because we're not our real selves. Most of us are animals. Let's just be honest. What makes us an animal? Disconnection from God. Where is God found? In self-realization. That's when you realize the persona that you are, the mask. right? That's when you realize that's not really me. I'm even bigger and more expansive than, I'm one with source. And then you start to not take your identity and what formed it so seriously. That's part of the healing process. Could the mask we wear, oh my God, to protect ourselves from judgment actually be the very thing that ensures we remain unseen? Could the mask make us invisible? Oh my goodness. Is the need to save face an unconscious admission of spiritual fraudulence where ego masquerades as self-actualization? 1-800-920-1580. If authenticity is the ultimate currency of human connection, does saving face make us spiritually bankrupt? When I come forward, you think I'm going to stop cooking? Wrong.
Love reflects its rays of light on everyone in the world. When I'm with you, it's for what I feel when I'm with you. Hey.
KBLA